Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Move my brush. Happy brunch, everyone. Happy brunch. How is everybody? I've been hearing complaints about my camera. Okay, to be clear, I'm not on a conventional camera. I don't even know how to use those things. I'm on my computer. So I apologize if I occasionally freeze. I freeze because because I have two windows open. I have this one open, and I also had well, now I don't. But I sometimes will keep the YouTube open as well. And so the reason I do that is so that I can see how the stream is going. And oh, things are flying all over the place. That can sometimes cause too much strain, I imagine, on the computer when I do that. So I've got one now open in Safari, so I can see you guys. Hello, everyone. And then I have one to see the live stream. So when I do that, it weakens the signal. It like splices it in half or something. And so that's why I often will have the weaker signal, is because I have multiple windows open at the same time. So that's the problem. Right now, like I said, I'm using Safari to see you. So I'm thinking, let me know if that improves the signal. I am a Luddite. Is that what they call it? A Luddite? Now, the other complaint was that people cannot see the tarot because I don't have a second camera. I guess I could but again, you're asking for a setup. Look, if you guys paid me or were members, but it's often people that just show up in my house. They go straight to the refrigerator, right? What do you got? What do you got? What do you got? Well, I don't like your setup. And then they, grab a sandwich and leave. Yeah, it kind of feels that way sometimes. It does, yes. Yeah, so hopefully you guys can see the cards. Okay. I look much brighter. I want to have a strange medical conversation because I am a senior now. I am 62, a proud senior. I was having a lot of chronic coughing and infected sinuses. It was infected sinus, right? An infected sinus. And then I had allergies from the cat. And then I got COVID. I think it was during my birthday week because I went out and had dinner, et cetera, et cetera. But so I had this. Okay, so this is like how transparent I am. By the way, hello, my name is Whimsy. I am the crazy remote viewer. Let me see, I got my hat here. There you go. Courtesy of Wendy. This is the official hat, which will be on my grave when I leave. And I know there'll be so many people that will be, no, probably not. Anyway, it was like I would get a little sneeze and a little irritation at the tip of my nose. And then my nose was always drip, 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 drip. And then sometimes it would get to the back of the lungs, and then I would cough and cough and cough. And I decided to do something really strange, Oh, and then when I would go, I'm a doctor, by the way. So you look up people's nose to see polyps and things like that. And so I wash your hands and you go and you do an inspection inside your nose. And there was a bump right here, a bump. And I thought, do I have a polyp? Do I have an infected polyp? Because it's a bump there. So I thought, well, okay, let me go ahead and treat this naturopathically. I'll do some essential oil, breathe essential oil and garlic, and I kept massaging the bump, thinking if it's a polyp, then it'll probably have to get removed. But whatever this thing is contributing to the cough. This infected, it's infected sinus or whatever it is. So I just did naturopathic medicine and I massaged it with essential oils that I knew were and garlic. And then I noticed the last couple days that I had cleared the COVID and my cough has improved quite a bit. And then I went up today and I checked my nose and it's gone. The little polyp thing is gone. So if you've got one of those, that's how I treated mine and it has disappeared. Yes, it was dripping down my throat, this infected thing, and then the allergies, and it was right here, and I kept wiping and blowing, and it was like a knot. And I thought, what is that? Is that infected? Do I have to go on sinus medications like amoxicillin, for example? And now it's gone. So, another naturopathic success story. I was coughing all the time. Yes, I do cough all the time. But the main problem was I had an infected sinus that was dripping to the back of my throat, which is now gone. But I think it happens a lot. I think I have a chronic problem with it. I've always had this since I was a kid. Anyway, hopefully everybody has walked through the door. We've got 161 beautiful people here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm right now I'm on auto for my live and it looks like the visuals are not too bad. I'm not freezing, right? If I am, I can drop it down to I wonder if that would help actually. If I could drop it down right now, the video platform. Oh, hold on a second. Video saying auto. If I go high definition 730, supposedly that works better. And so, oh, that might be what the problem was. Oh, I'm just trying to figure out if I have a problem here with my video. I think it's fine. All right, let me check and see. I'm just checking my, I know this is boring for you folks. I'm just trying to make sure you guys can see me. Ah, that improved it, right? I dropped it down to 730. Yeah. Well, let's go ahead. We'll say hi to everybody that's here. Thank you for joining us. This is our Sunday brunch where we get together and we have brunch. We open the table to the four corners of the earth. It is our April fundraiser, and we are raising money for AmericanForest.org. Of course, they plant trees in all of North America, Baja California, and also parts of Canada, I believe. And alas, we are starting our fire season. And so I always like to spend a month raising money to protect our forest. And that is, of course, Al Gore's favorite charity. So thank you to Al Gore for making that recommendation. Next up, I wanted to give a shout out to Trisha McCucci. Trisha McCucci, she is the author of the book that we will be reading this month. If you are part of our Book of the Month Club, Chuck and I invite you to join us as we indulge in our latest book of the month, The Sunny Side of Crazy. The Sunny Side of Crazy. If you're interested in psychology, abnormal psychology, dissociative disorder, multiple personality disorder, trance mediums often fall into a type of dissociative disorder, which may be similar. It enters into the paranormal aspect because sometimes a personality will come in that comes from another century, or it's as if another identity has taken hold that lives in an alternate reality. Strange things like that start to happen. Makes you wonder where we go when we dream. Do we become the consciousness of somebody in some other realm? Those are the kinds of conversations we can have. What is consciousness? Can more than one consciousness exist in a single body? And the opposite, can one consciousness exist in multiple bodies, like Sense 8, where 8 people had one soul, right? So it's 6 personalities, 1 courageous daughter, and the power of one mother's love. Trisha Makuchi. Hopefully we can have her in our studios. That'll be a lot of fun. Probably try and reach out to her before I leave. I'll be in Israel leaving April 22nd, and I'll be back on May 8th. If you're trying to get in for a tarot reading for me or see me as a physician, just to let you know, I will not be available during those dates. Well, let's go ahead. We're going to turn the camera around. Let's say hi to all of you. Who are you? Where are you coming from? What you eating? What you drinking? What do you want to talk about? Do you want to talk about some remotes? And maybe we'll give everybody a collective reading as well. Hi, John Gerald. Good to see you. Thank you for your donation. And you just had 10 tree babies. Mazel tov. Deborah Murphy is in the house. Debbie Brady, incredible creative director, designer. She's also talent manager. We are glad to have her here. Thank you for your help. Sybil Duma is in the house. Rich, thank you for your memberships. Joel Tilson, our floor director. Final months of the Ukraine war. Do you think it'll be months? I feel like a lot of stuff ends in April. Saying, is this water fresh? I think I'm going to get myself some fresh water. I really feel like you can't change the times. You can't switch. Like I keep going back to the 5 phases. We can talk about how the supercomputer built the 5 phases. And supercomputers are dangerous because if you know what questions to ask, you can start figuring out what our intelligence agency is up to just through deductive reasoning. Yeah, this is the thing that people who are into supercomputers, it's not about the supercomputer, it's about asking the right questions, right? I'm sorry, I have to get myself some fresh water. This is from last night. Excuse me. Thanks, you guys. Let me do that. So you give all the data to the computer, and then you let the excuse me, and then you let the computer decide what are you going to do? What are you going to do in this situation? And you have, for example, in Israel, they have their cybersecurity people. The IDF has its cybersecurity people, which is called the boys and girls of the 8200. Yes, the 8200. I don't know why they call themselves the 8200. But yeah, so what they do is they sit around and they use supercomputers and they try to figure out the best case scenario, least amount of deaths calculated. Be a decent person, don't kill people. These are We try. We don't always succeed, but we try. So, yeah, so that's how supercomputers work, and that's how supercomputers can be dangerous, and that's also why this is, in a way, a great time to be using supercomputers because they haven't stopped us yet, right? So, eventually, they're gonna figure out that regular people can use these computers to find out all kinds of things just by deductive reasoning, and then they'll probably take the toy away, or they'll probably try to limit the kind of access we get to supercomputers, which wouldn't be much fun. No. I'm trying to find a copy of the 5 phases because people like to see it, and unfortunately, I don't see it right now. But yeah, so get to ceasefire. Then you have an exchange of hostages. Then you have the rebuild starting right now with Gaza, where they took one-third of the perimeter, which is going to be the safe zone area that they're building for people, or what I call Oasis. And phase 4, they will continue to isolate Putin, and most likely he will be. Look, they're not gonna. The Russians won't hand Putin over, but what we can do is we can convince Putin to maybe retire early. And then it always came back phase 5, taking out Russia, or I mean Iran. The reason why being that they didn't really have a choice. Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't find it. And the reason they didn't have a choice was because we learned a lot. We learned a lot when they tried to make a deal with Putin. I mean, when we tried to make a deal with Iran, we learned a lot. We learned a lot from that, in the sense that we learned that we can't make a deal with them. Right? We can't make a deal with Iran. And that was something that they tried, trying to avoid war. Nobody wants to go to war. Nobody wants to go to war with Iran. Nobody wants to go to war with Russia. This was done with a supercomputer. So the point here, I saw it and then I run it through computers to make sure that the remote view is accurate. I test my remotes to see if they're mathematically accurate. I'll have a vision, or I'll see the solution, because I come out of my body and I'll look at a war zone, or I'll look at a situation, and then I'll try and construct a solution in that altered state. And then I'll come back into my body, write it down, and then I'll spend a couple days on a supercomputer seeing if I got it right or how I have to alter it. And that's what happened here. So the takeaway is this, you guys. Obama tried to make a deal with Iran. That was the Iran deal, so that we wouldn't have to go to all-out war with Iran. And you can't give money and rewards to Nazis. And they basically are running the Nazi playbook. They are. They believe in Mein Kampf. They teach it to their children. Same with Hamas. So Hezbollah, Houthis, they destabilize the entire area. And so when they got the money, and when they tried to work on the Iran deal with Obama, all they did was buy more weapons and more terrorists. So we had to scrap the idea. And so the conclusion, the only conclusion that the computer, this is multiple computers, by the way, I used a lot of different computers. The only conclusion that the computers, you have to isolate and remove them before they remove you. If they're like determined to build a nuclear weapon and drop it on the world, you really don't have a choice. So In terms of why the computer arranged it like this, that first they would take out Russia, then they would take out Iran, was because Russia was more vulnerable. They were already fighting on multiple fronts. They were trying to hold on to, they had bases in Syria they had to abandon, bases in other areas they had to abandon because they were trying to hold on to Ukraine. They were having civil unrest. Civil unrest in Chechnya and some other areas. And because they just didn't have the GDP to continue to hold on to keep going. And so that's why the computer adopted it this way. What's weird is that you'll often see everything happening all at once, like the ceasefire broke. And so now Hamas supporters and Gazans are going to host countries, right? And then they've already started to clear 1/3 of the outer perimeter for what will become the subway system, so the Oasis 3. Then 4 is happening now. We see this really, it's really aggressive what's happening in terms of bombings in Russia. Russia doesn't even have a way of protecting itself from the bombings, which just goes to show how bankrupted they are right now. And the ultimate question, which Trump's administration, Kushner administration, could they eventually soften relationships with Iran to such a point that they too got to be part of the trade deal? And the answer is no, that this is not a negotiating partner. This is not a partner that we will ever be able to have business with. So those are the phases. That has been checked with multiple computers. The accuracy is about a 95 to 98% odds. So I want people to think about how many years it takes to plan something like this. You're talking about 95 to 98% odds that this is where the IDF, the United States, NATO, everybody's on the same page because everybody's using supercomputers. So my question to you is this. Do you think it really matters that Trump is the person that's moving fleets into the Mediterranean? I don't think so. You see what I'm saying? It may look like a wag the dog, but this computer report, I completed this December 19th, 2023. So MAPA, this is the IDF, they already were several months ahead of me. And this was just one independent researcher. Okay, here's what I'm getting. They had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people putting it in. So they were matching it against their own supercomputers till you get an accuracy of about 95 to 98%. So that is why we joke about the Oracle of Whimsy, but I do try to do you guys justice, even though I'm not good with the computer. I mean, it's like, you're freezing again. I apologize for not knowing how to be a good camera person, but in terms of the data, I do really go all out for you guys in terms of trying to make sure that you guys get the best data, like seeing the crash on the 19th. I will see the vision and then I will go and check what's going on in the market, or the crash that happened on the 4th. Tuesday is also a crazy day. Next Tuesday, which would be, I believe, what would that? That would be the 8th. We're looking for quite a ride. I don't anticipate recovery in the market that's sustainable. By the way, if you are asking me about the market, I don't see any kind of sustainable recovery for the market until we deal with the underlying cause, which is the tariffs. Yeah. So I'm just going to have to do it this way. I'm just going to have to make sure that I've got it separate like this so that I don't freeze, because this looks like it's a much better visual for you all if I do it that way. Well, Mila has had a very, very, very busy day. She is my emotional support animal. She is my Keto. Keto. Ah, Keto. You are crazy cat. Ah, crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So. Ah, so crazy, 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 crazy. You are crazy cat. You make crazy problem. You crazy cat. Right where my head goes, you just want to put as much of your dander as possible. Yeah? You see what you're doing? Yeah. You want to say hi to everybody? Yeah. Okay. Well, the little monster is doing what she does best. She's leaving her love drops. She's leaving her love drops all over the place. Well, what would you folks like to do? Oh, there we go. She's a little monster. A little terror. I'm just looking at the video. Oh my God, she's so cute. Yeah. Do you see where she sleeps? This is the problem here. Yes, but I love her. All right, so oh, Sybil, you're so sweet. Sybil's becoming an amazing remote viewer. She hit a bullseye in class the other day. I was pretty blown away. We train people to become remote viewers, and it's a fun class. You can think about joining. It's Fridays at 6 p.m. We had open class for the public if you want to check it out. But Sybil was the star. Her and 1111 kind of blew it out of the water. You know what was interesting about 1111's vision? We were doing Kuma Sumari, or what is it called? Lemuria. The remote view was we sent people to Lemuria before it sank, the island of Lemuria, which is off the coast of southern India. And they've taken divers down to see the high buildings. These buildings were quite massive. I mean, this was a heck of a society, but they sank. So yeah, we asked people like to take themselves to the remote. It's double blind. We don't know where we're being sent to. And 1111 said, "Wow, I feel like I'm on an island like Hawaii." It's like, wow, it must have been a really great life before that island sank. You know what I mean? Yeah. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to give you guys a collective reading today. And we're going to check what the week is like. And hopefully we'll all have some fun today. And of course, we're going to give you the empath prayer. And if anybody would like to receive a healing at this time, you can go ahead and just give the name of you or the person you would like us to pray for, and they too will be included in our prayers today. Okay, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and we will bring in the empath prayer. Okay. I want to call on white light protection for myself and this community as we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic Records. We call on our spirit guides and our good angels to be with us. Please give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower all of us on our journeys to make the best decisions for ourselves, our families, the planet, the people we love, but also to help those that we may have strife with. And together collectively as a community, we say, Amen. And for those of you who are requesting a healing at this time, we pray that you and those you love receive a perfect healing in mind, body, and spirit. And together collectively as a community, we come together and say, Amen, Amen, Amen. May all souls be healed. May all souls be healed. All right, let's give you a collective reading. What is going on with you this week? What is going on with you this week and the rest of the world? This is a smorgasbord reading. If it doesn't apply to you, this is a communal table. Just pass it down and say, I do not care for peas. Are these your peas? Why, yes, ma'am, those are my peas. Thank you kindly. This is, the collective consciousness of Carl Jung. What applies to you, let it stick. What doesn't, pass it down. All right. Good to be here. Many blessings to you all and much gratitude to you all for spending your time with us here at this brunch table. Of course, we know that you can be anywhere you choose to be. And so we are greatly honored and complimented that you choose to spend it with little old me. I'm very grateful. All right, where we are collectively, next week is war. I have said that April could not be avoided. I want to be very clear here to people, okay? And I really want to encourage other remote viewers, when you do this work, scan the grid, you pick up, I'm feeling something strange is happening in France and it feels like this. I'm going to go in and check the supercomputer. Is there anything going on in Paris right now? Trust your gut and then use the computers to try and figure it out. Why am I picking up something in Marseille right now? And it's in this location. What's going on in that location in Marseille? Interesting. And why am I feeling it involves? These are great tools, right? April is inevitable. You have to look at it like a mathematical equation. You have to look at it it's pure math. You only can stack so many things on top of the Jumanji or whatever the game is called before it collapses, right? Is that called Jumanji? Where you stack it and then, and that's basically what is happening I can tell you the second week of April is hell and next week is the second week of April. I also see something strange happening with the market. So about all of that with the market, right now we have a Dow Jones. Oh my gosh, you guys, it's bad. So they're now calling it a crash. If it drops more than 10% over a short period of time, that would be considered a crash. So that's basically what happened. So how can we come back from this? This thing that's happening to us. Like I said, I think it's going to continue to drop. I don't think that this, what we're seeing here, I would say yes, that's technically because yeah, it's a very short amount of time. Also, I think we're going to be looking at more crashes happening. I think this week is bloody. I'll show you the cards now also. Okay, so we have that. This is just one. Jonga, thank you. You guys are great. What would I do without you guys? I love you guys. You're so sweet. You put up with so much of my crazy. Knight of Swords is the card that we have talked about a lot. As the card of war. It also is associated with two elements in Chinese medicine, if you're a student of mine of the Tarot. And those two elements are air and metal. Air encompasses also ethers, the ethers, the wind, and the metal. So in Chinese medicine, wind and metal is associated with which organs? The lungs and the large intestine, right? So it's also a time when we're vulnerable to things that attack the lungs, violent attack of the wind system. So spring we'll see COVID, measles, another death in Texas. Anything attacking the lungs. I just got over COVID. We're seeing this violence against the wind, the violence of, so protect your lungs. Metal, protect your digestive, diarrhea, and respiratory distress, right? That's COVID. There's a resurge of COVID. Somebody asked, why can't we get rid of COVID? Because it's a virus, which means it has a very tiny amount of genetic material, RNA material. And so every time it bounces from host to host to host and uses that host's own genetics to reproduce, it can slightly become mutated. And so as it moves from host to host, it goes through genetic changes and it evolves. It evolves and develops and changes as it travels from host to host. And that is why we constantly have to be vaccinating ourselves for viruses, because they change and evolve. And we're seeing, evolution can happen slowly over time, but with something that has a small amount of genetic imprint, we're going to see evolution happening much more quickly, basically. And so that's the evolution of viruses. Less genetic material, we're seeing evolution happening more rapidly as it has to adapt and evolve to different immune systems. An act of replicating, every time it replicates itself, there's a chance it's going to make an error, which will lead to a mutation. So that's the whole genetics explanation for those of you who are curious. But so war. Knight of Swords is also about war. Helter skelter, the violence coming in. And so this week we will see attacks. I believe we will strike Houthi targets. The U.S. will. I think that we will also possibly hit Iran. Feeling here is that they have no choice. Like I said, they've been planning it for years because, I don't think they understand that Obama gave them a last chance. The Iran deal with Obama was a chance for them to have normalized relationships with the West, and instead they just used it to create terror organizations. So we see war is inevitable this week, and the stock market will crash. This is the week. War and a stock market crash. Do you feel that we, who are remote viewers, Sheila, myself, some of the other remote. Did we prepare you for April, or do you feel upset that you were not given adequate warning? Is there something more that the remote viewers could have done to have prepared you for next week? Is there the question Spirit is asking you is, what do you need right now to get through this? I guess that's my question. Like, from me, from Linda G, from the readers. I'm thinking of the people that I work with and friends of mine. Sheila, Lena Rodriguez. What can we do to help you right now? Because it's bad. It's bad. So what I have said, and what I will continue to say, is take care of yourself, be about your business, live like a monk, live like no other, right? Keep it simple. Have a good pantry. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, say no more, say no more. Like I did a whole thing 4 months ago on prepper pantries. I hope people get the hint, you know? Oh my God. I love you guys. I'm trying. Okay, where we're at right now, go to the higher ethos. So what's gonna, excuse me, what's gonna eventually pull us out of this is that we all have to go back to our ethos. Just go back to what you know to be true about how you believe you should live your best life. So for me, I kind of think about the Carmelite nuns, which is weird because I was raised Jewish, but I'm very attracted to this whole. Well, supposedly there were Jewish women that were like Essenes. Do you guys know anything about the Essenes? I'm finding out about these Jewish women mystery schools. Y'all know about this? During the time of Romans, and people were hiding out in caves and they were trying to just live spiritual lives. But yeah, so I kind of draw strength from that. Not that we should be like Masada, but this idea of just going and taking care of yourself. Because Hierophant is all about the higher ethos that we share. It's what do you know to be true? And it's very easy to be seduced. It's very easy to be seduced and think, well, I can handle it, or I can handle temptations or whatnot. But the point is that there's a warning here to not be in the world right now, to try and insulate yourself a little bit during this process. If you were able to sell your stocks, look, they're not gonna let you take. Look, if it gets as bad as I think it's going to get by Tuesday, just based on pure math, and again, I follow the energy. You don't trust me? I always tell my remote viewers, go down and check for yourself if you don't believe me. How does Tuesday look? I mean, so just take care of yourself, go inward, listen to mantras, take care of your internal world, and you will get through this. The crossing at war. Why is Knight of Wands associated with war? Does anybody know? It's Mars. On God, charge. Charge. Southwest Asia, right? So where's Southwest Asia? Iran, the Houthi, Israel, right? They don't like to call it the Middle East because Middle East of where? Middle East of Euro makes it Eurocentric. So now, no, we're Southwest Asia. So war is happening in Southwest Asia. Ukraine. Ukraine is actually kind of, Ukraine and Russia are close to Asia. You get that huge Turkish influence. My family's, my maternal line is, they come from Hungary, and it's kind of interesting. That whole influence, that whole Turkish kind of Southwest Asian feel you get in some of those areas of Eastern Europe. But anyway, I'm seeing the war card on God. The Mars is coming. What is above Chariot? Also, what is Chariot? Tally ho! Right? So you're seeing this Chariot, and you're seeing Knight of Wands, on God, go, charge! And you're seeing war, helter skelter, kill, and you're seeing the stock market crashing. Take care of yourself. I always love to show the cards because people can see where my head is going. They can just see they can read the cards themselves. And it just makes for a more enjoyable reading when you guys can actually see the cards. What we are sitting in collectively, war. We are all collectively in a state of war. That is what we have to think about. We are all in a state of war. The Mars King, we are all in a state of war. Yesterday was war. In a way, the American people let it be known that we were not happy with what was going on. And I don't know about you, but there were certain points where I felt afraid that, how long are we going to be able to do this? Who marched yesterday? I didn't feel, did anyone have a moment where you felt like, wow, I don't feel totally safe. I wonder how much longer we're going to be able to do this. So we are all collectively in a time of war. It doesn't matter if, we're physically violent, but we have declared war on one another, right? This is the politics of the country, the politics of the world. One of the things I've also said is that we can expect filings in the next week or two against the United States by Canada, by France, but we're also looking at other countries, China, etc., because the United States is in violation of contracts that they signed that were part of trade. And so now the entire world is suing the United States. This is something that we talked about. I checked with supercomputers yesterday, and the same thing. It was like a 90+ chance that Canada will be the first, and then France. Like I said, you get the remote because it's just pure unbiased math, because you're not trapped by your own biases when you're in HCRV. So you see it and go, oh, and they go, I better figure out why the hell I saw that. And then you get to come back and use the supercomputers, and then you sound really smart explaining it. But it's just that you did the remote, then you verified it with a supercomputer, and the next day you deliver it to people. They go, hey, you sound so smart. I'm like, yeah. I worked with my Nomi all last night. Anyway, so we have this kind of war energy. Poverty has already happened. So for many of you, you're already in poverty. Poverty is seen as a past placement. So the American people are already poor. We're already collectively poor. And what we need to, a star is over the American people, over the Canadian people, the people of Europe, etc. People with personality disorders, people that are spoiled, people that have never had anybody say no to them. These are the people that wind up being in power, and then it creates problems for the rest of us. But we have this nice star energy coming in over us. A heavy load lay ahead for many of us. The opposition, it's over. They're going to remove Trump, I think. Hopes and fears, smoother waters. And then the final outcome for us will come mercy, justice, and the 6 of Pentacles, which would indicate your Social Security is safe and your finance. This is an embarrassment to Marco Rubio and everybody else that they've got screaming, hysterical seniors calling them on the phone, and they're having to re-release aid like USAID, dead babies in Africa because we couldn't give them a 12-cent peanut butter. What the hell's wrong with you, you psychopath? It wasn't about saving money. It was about killing kids. You wanted to kill those kids. You're a psychopath. But Six of Pentacles is about justice being restored. It's a great card. The balance of justice and the poor receiving their just reward. Excuse me. Grief continues for the next couple of weeks. And confusion about what will happen to the leaders that are, it's like very quickly bad people are removed and thrown in jail. And then we all want to know after the fact, but what happened? How did this story end? Just get back to work, just get back to work. But where did he go? Why is it all normal again? What happened to Doge? A lot remains unanswered. Moon, we're stuck in a moon phase, grief. A new beginning comes, but within the next 30 days, a lot of this crazy is going to be dealt with because they're not going to sit back and let this happen to their constituents. They don't want people screaming on the phone. This was why Marco Rubio had an emergency meeting with the Senate because he started to suspect that Elon Musk was a con artist. What else did he do? What else did Marco Rubio do? In addition to red alert, and then private meeting with the Senate, and then pulling a bunch of levers to get people involved. He also contacted various different groups that were investigating Elon Musk, like SEC, etc., and the Justice Department to continue their investigation. So all the Republican lawyers have to do is throw Elon Musk to the wolves, and that's in fact what they're going to do, which is why he has to leave. He underestimated how much power Marco Rubio has and how much power he brought to the table, and started popping off like he was the president. Oh, really? And so Marco Rubio went and had a private meeting with the senators, and then they pushed some buttons, and then they filed. They don't believe anything. They caught him lying about stuff. So I think he's going to get charged. I think Elon Musk is going to get charged, and I think he's going to face serious legal issues going forward. Also, he's in trouble internationally. The guy from Telegraph got arrested and is now claiming that Elon Musk stole the election and working with the Russians and all this other crazy stuff. And he wants protection. So, you know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of Julian Assange all over again. What do you guys think? Do you think it's like Julian Assange all over again? I don't know. When the guy from Telegraph got busted and started saying, I have evidence, you've got to protect me from Elon Musk. I mean, I don't know. All right, so we are going to go ahead and blitz away. I'm just tired of women getting, we win fair and square. We do the right thing. We're morally and ethically in the right, and we still lose the election. I'm just really, but they did the same thing to Al Gore. So what can you do? Hello, my love. Hello, my little lion. My little lion. My little lion. What you doing, Mila? Yeah? Yes. Yes. He's a good kitty. All right. So whenever you're ready, we will blitz, blitz, blitz away. All right. I'm just checking the stream. I'll turn it back off so it doesn't impact the. All right. Let's see what we got going on here. What do you guys think is happening? What do you think you guys want to look at today? I'm actually going to go over here and check the stream. That's going to make my life easier. Let me go ahead and say hi to you people. We've said hi to some of you already. We've sent healings. We've called on the higher collective consciousness to give a healing to everybody. And a lot of you lovely people. Oh, Rainey Horvat says that she lost much of her retirement savings. I don't even look at it, waiting for it to find bottom and then come back. Maybe in May. Let's go ahead and look at people's retirement savings. Yeah, I lost mine too. Even though I sold a bunch, I still lost. It would have been worse if I hadn't sold before the 19th. Oh, you can't unsee me as a conehead? I am a conehead. Fiberglass. Fried eggs and fiberglass. Okay. The retirement. What is going on? We're trying to protect our savings. Oh my God. Marco Rubio is getting. You know what I keep seeing? I keep seeing all these retired people in Florida. Marco Rubio. That's his entire base, is all these retired people in Florida. So if anyone's getting screamed at, it's Marco Rubio. Oh God, it's like my entire constituency is over the age of 60, right? So the first house, 7 of Wands, defending our territory, the opposition, the government, the hopes and fears, Chariot, where the hell are you taking it? 3 of Pentacles, we want Social Security guarantees. 3 of Pentacles would indicate that Congress and Senate sign a law basically ensuring that they can't touch it, because 3 of Pentacles would be like a real estate card. Health over us, take care of our health. Opposition, 4 of Cups. They didn't anticipate, yeah, we're fine. Ace of Pentacles over. Why don't they just do Shark Tank? That's what they did after World War II. Is they gave out tons of money to start new businesses because they moved from a war economy into private sector. It was basically Shark Tank. And then they made a bunch of money back in the loans. I don't know. And I think we should just go into business with and encourage small business. And but 6 of Pentacles with Ace of Pentacles would be auspicious. Everybody's going to be okay in terms of their retirement. But man, what a nightmare. People have to realize who is going to war. The United States has been attacking Iranian allies like the Houthis, but we're also probably going to take out Iranian leadership. We've been planning it for a long time. Now is the time because Iran's weak. Will the Republicans finally rise up against Trump? Will the Republicans finally rise up against Trump? Thank you, everybody, for being here. It'd be awesome if you could like and subscribe. And our donation this week is for AmericanForest.org if you'd like to make a donation. So over the issue of the Republicans, yes, the Republicans lose. So people go over to the Democratic side. 4 of Pentacles is Frugality, the opposition, 3 of Cups, women's power, so women rise up. They have to ask themselves, why did you vote for the orange guy? Well, we thought it would be good for who? Who is he good for? Was he good for Muslim Americans? No. Was he good for women? No. Was he good for the economy? No. He wasn't good for anybody. Grief over the situation, over the Republicans. So I think, and also the opposition is 3 of Cups. So I would say that the Republicans are probably not going to be doing well in the upcoming elections. A new beginning. There's a new Republican Party I keep seeing that, yeah, look at that. In the gray. You know what? It's the warrior party. It's these young males that want to go out and fight, even if it means killing women and children in the process. Like in war, 80% of the people that die are women and children. They're just collateral damage. The psychopathy of young males that just want to go and kill, and the rest of us have to just, well, you let them do it. It just blows my mind that we live in a world like this. I was listening to Jared Kushner talk about, well, we should probably get a humane corridor in the Negev, get the civilians out to the Negev, a humane corridor, and then finish Hamas. And I was thinking, wow, I just came to that conclusion, and I don't like Jared Kushner. And so it's like, ironically, Jared Kushner is right. That is precisely what we should have done. And if we had done that, there wouldn't be all these dead babies in Gaza. But no, we have to keep women and children locked in a war zone to make some political point that led to a bunch of kids dying. So sometimes even the people that we don't agree with on certain things can be right about certain things. Like he was right. We should have done that. And if we had done that, those kids wouldn't have died. All right. Will Israel strike Iran? Will Israel strike Iran? H1N1 is rampant again. Oh, damn. All I know is I caught it, and it was spring break too. My birthday's during spring break, and so I always go off and have a vacation and get a bug. Oh my gosh. Yes, Israel will strike in the next 30 days, Iranian targets. I know we're hitting targets in Syria and Lebanon, Gaza, but I see war over Israel. Knight of Swords. Israel will succeed in the next 30 days. It's pretty safe in Israel proper. The only danger inside Israel is like lone attackers. Sometimes somebody will come up and stab you. Unfortunately, like lone terrorist. We see that people just going crazy. Like, well, 35% of Israeli citizens support Hamas. So how's that for a security issue, right? Of Arab citizens. Yeah, so Ace of Wands would be like victory. It's a war card. It's Mars. It's a 30-day period. You can read the cards. It's pretty easy to read. Knight of Swords is a war card. Helter Skelter. The opposition, 3 of Pentacles, could be an attempt to get to a ceasefire or contract. The hope and fear is the Star. But I would say it's inevitable. I mean, you guys have seen what the supercomputer came up with. So, yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, it is what it is. Clarification? You know, Netanyahu feels that he's turned a new leaf, and now he's going to be a different type of prime minister. Him and Trump are going to build the new Gaza, right? The King of Cups is Netanyahu, unfortunately. So let's see what happens in May. I think we may be having elections. I wonder if I'll be in Israel at the time. It'd be great if I could vote, but yeah, I don't. they've been holding off on the elections. A lot of people feel Benny Gantz, the unity, he's the Democrat. A lot of people are supporting Benny Gantz. So, and a lot of people blame Netanyahu, building animosity. He's, from an anthropological perspective, Netanyahu has done a lot to feed the distension, and he's not what we need if you're trying to build bridges. So a lot of people are going with Benny Gantz, and a lot of people think that Benny Gantz will win. Let me check the Israeli elections coming up. We keep putting it off. We just passed the budget in Israel, but a lot of people are not happy. A lot of the money went towards things that people didn't support. It went towards the right, religious right, military, and it didn't go towards things, same as here in the United States. Foreign money coming into Israel could influence a conservative vote in the Knesset because there's an Ace of Pentacles in the 7th house, and that money got linked back to Russian oligarchs that were pushing for Netanyahu. So you have an Ace of Pentacles in the 7th house, which would indicate that Israel's politics are being governed by possibly foreign money, just like every other country. The courts are being weakened in Israel also. Now the Knesset wants to have control over the courts, so that could be a little bit of a problem also going forward because you have this battle in the courts. But if we continue to struggle with foreign money, it's going to be very hard for Israel to get a liberal, somebody like Benny Gantz in. However, there's this battle coming up I see in Israel just because the Lady of the Courts is coming in and also the Justice card, which could indicate that legal issues with people like Netanyahu will eventually be resolved. He's facing multiple criminal allegations, bribery, taking money from Qatar, all kinds of stuff. The fact that the courts are coming in and smoother waters for many years to come, 6 of Swords, the Ace of Cups, which is some kind of a resolution by this summer. You can see the Sun card coming in, leads me to think that Israel will be on a trajectory towards peace and possibly a new prime minister by this summer. Wow, what a fun day. Well, I am off to mail some herbs. I had a bunch of herb requests and I've got to go and mail them out to everybody. Like I said, whatever we can do to support you as remote viewers and readers and just friends, we're trying to do. Live simply, don't overspend, lay low. This is a rough month. But by the summer, according to these cards, we will be on the world will be on a positive trajectory and war will be behind us probably by August because high sun, most people read the sun card as when the sun is high, which is usually around July, August. All right. Thank you guys. Thank you for hanging out with me. Opposition. Yes. So where we're at during the time of August, opposition Ace of Cups would be like a peace treaty, and then hopes and fears, the courts coming in, justice, and then reigns 6 years, 6 years smooth waters. So that's how I read it. All right. Be kind to all so that all will be kind to you too. God bless. Peace out. And we will see you next time. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your love and support. Much appreciated. Bye.